How's it going, everybody? Been a long time since I did a video, but I figured I'd jump on here tonight and share my thoughts on the coronavirus, basically bringing sports in America, not totally, but pretty much totally to a halt. I'm sure as many of you are aware, if you haven't been living under a rock, last night the Utah Jazz were set to play the Oklahoma City Thunder at Chesapeake Bank Arena out in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And minutes before the game, Jazz All-Star center Rudy Gobert started to feel sick and started to feel, like he wasn't feeling well. And they brought him back to the locker room and they gave him the coronavirus test and he tested positive. And the game was canceled, postponed that night. And as we all knew this was coming for a while, it felt like it was only a matter of time until these leagues started playing in front of empty arenas or not playing at all. And a player getting it was probably going to be the death nail. And so, as within, I think, half an hour of the game being postponed, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver suspended NBA play. And the rest of the leagues followed suit. The NHL today suspended play. The MLS today suspended play for 30 days. The XFL has stopped play. Major League Baseball has canceled the final 2 weeks of spring training and has postponed the start of the season by at least 2 weeks. And all of the college basketball conference tournaments have been canceled, and March Madness has been canceled. Not even postponed; they've just been flat out canceled. The PGA Tour and NASCAR will continue, but they will continue with empty arenas. The first round of the Players' Championship was played today. No fans were on the course. NASCAR will commence with their racing this weekend, starting tomorrow, with no fans at the track. So, scary times, that's for sure. What looked like to be a very promising winter sports season for the teams locally here. The Bruins and Celtics for now are on pause. Hopefully, we'll give these things a couple of weeks, let it blow over. Hopefully, everybody gets right. Hopefully, this gets withheld and contained, and we can return to normal life. Because the last couple of weeks have been scary, really, since this really ramped up a few weeks ago here in the United States. And it's a scary world, and we're all big sports fans. It's a passion in Boston up here where I am. It's a way of life. Our sports teams. It's not just it's part of who we are. Rooting for our teams and cheering for our teams. The passion and the commitment to our teams here is unbeatable. But we all understand sometimes there are bigger things than sports, like the Boston Marathon bombing nearly 7 years ago. The last time I can remember sports being canceled this badly was, of course, September 11th, 2001, after the terrorist attacks at the World Trade Center. But only a few days later did sports resume. This is going to be, it feels like at least a month before we see any action from the four major sports. The MLS has put a date on it. They have given it 30 days. The NBA will reassess things in 30 days. Their goal is to be back within 30 days. So is the NHL's. So personally, I feel pretty good that we will be able to resume the NBA and NHL seasons in time. Now, whether that means the regular seasons are done and we go straight to the playoffs, or maybe they pushed everything back, which the NBA can do. The NHL is going to be tougher because obviously they play on ice. You don't want to be playing the Stanley Cup final in the middle of August, although there are bigger issues right now than bad ice. So when an athlete got it, obviously actor Tom Hanks got it too. You knew it was going to be a big deal. And the teams the Utah Jazz have played within the last 10 days, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Detroit Pistons, the Toronto Raptors, the Thunder, and the Celtics, and there have been some more, I believe, have all gone into quarantine. The Celtics landed back here today at Hanscom Air Force Base, and everybody went straight home, and they're going to self-quarantine for the weekend, and all the Celtics players will be tested for the coronavirus throughout this weekend while they are in self-quarantine. The NBA has laid out some parameters. There will be no practice, no group workouts until at least the 16th, which is next week, and the trainers will contact the players once a day and give them updates. There's not much you can say other than the fact that this is just scary. that a virus in this day and age, with all the modern technology we have and the modern medicine we have, can get this out of control it's terrifying. There's just no other way around it. And one piece of news I was slightly encouraged by in these last 24 hours was the fact that it did not spread rampantly throughout the Utah Jazz locker room. Donovan Mitchell, the superstar point guard, he has coronavirus. He's tested positive. But nobody else in the Jazz organization got it. Does that mean it's less contagious? What does that mean? That can only be a good sign. I'm trying to be optimistic about this. And hopefully, as time goes on, things can return to normal. Another good touch I've seen over these last 24 hours, Mavericks owner Mark Cuban is going to pay all of his concessions workers, ushers, ticket agents, security who work at the American Airlines Center for Mavericks games, even though they won't be working, obviously, for the next few weeks. Cavaliers forward Kevin Love is going to do the same things has donated a good amount of his money to the people who work at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse out there in Cleveland. And we're hoping this. Hopefully, we see this more, because if there's anyone who can withstand this, it is athletes and their billionaire bosses who are going to take the smallest hit. The biggest thing for me is the people who rely on these games for their livelihoods. Like I just said, the people who work in the arena, the people who scan your tickets, do security, sell merchandise at the pro shop in the arena, sell concessions. That's their livelihood that's been taken away from them like that. And that's scary. I got a friend who is an usher at the Boston Garden, and I talked to him today, and he's scared. So hopefully Jeremy Jacobs and Whit Grossbeck, please step up and do the right thing for the people who work for you. It's also the businesses around the arenas. All the businesses around the Garden. The legendary Halftime Pizza, the Fours, West End Johnny's, Porter's, Regina's Pizzeria, the North Station Garage, the Cambridge Street Parking Facility, all of these places that rely so much on the business that Bruins and Celtics games bring them night after night at this time of year. What's going to happen? That to me is the scariest part. And that to me is the part that those are the people I'm worried the most for in terms of their financial lives, because I don't expect the United States to do what Italy's done, which is waive all bill payments. That's not going to happen, because the entire country is not going to be put on lockdown, I don't think, unless this gets really out of hand. So, again, I just want to come on here tonight and share my thoughts again. Every league in sports, except for the PGA Tour and NASCAR, have shut down, and those two sports are continuing without fans for the time being, and it might be only a matter of time until they're shut down. So, again, just wanted to come on here tonight, share my thoughts, share my message. Pray for Rudy Gobert, pray for Donovan Mitchell, and pray for everybody who has this horrific illness. And do the right things. Wash your hands, cover your coughs and sneezes, don't touch your face, limit person-to-person contact, and hopefully within a couple weeks to a month, we can return to our normal lives. We can enjoy the Celtics and Bruins seasons and the rest of the NBA and NHL seasons, and enjoy our baseball. For those of you who are into it, enjoy your XFL. We're not going to get March Madness. That's been officially canceled. The Boston Marathon has been put off till the fall. So again, everyone, just please be prudent. Please be safe. For the proper messages out there, do the right thing, and just be safe and do what's smart. There's a bigger thing here than yourself. There's lives at stake. There's people's livelihoods at stake. We need to get past this as soon as we can, so we can return to our normal lives. And for the people who work in the arenas and own businesses in and around the arenas, we're all rooting for you. And for everyone who has been infected by this horrific disease, always trust the man upstairs. He's looking over you. Don't you wish you could start 2020 all over again? Kobe Bryant dies. Now this. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'll probably do a video next time on whenever the Tom Brady decision drops, which will probably be sometime next week, because the NFL free agency for now looks like it's going to go on as planned. And until next time, I'm Cam Vieira. Everybody stay safe. God bless you all.